especially Tim and Cindy for putting this wonderful exhibit together and inviting me. So tonight I'm going to be talking about my ongoing light painting photography project called Motion Exposure. I'll be discussing how I developed my light painting technique and talking about some of the details of my photos. One of my hobbies in the summer is to go on multi-day canoe trips, and this is where I take a lot of my photos. So this is me paddling here. So it was really the combination of my interest in canoeing and my interest in aerodynamics that led me to this photography project. So what we're looking at is my very first photo of canoe paddling motion. So this was done by attaching a string of LED lights along the length of the paddle and taking a 10-second exposure. Now in this photo, the canoe is moving from left to right. Now I wanted to show you my first photo so that my thought process is a bit more clear. So this photo was taken well after sunset. It's very dark. And because it's so dark, there's no background that's visible. There's no real context. Shortly after sunset, so that there's enough ambient light that the background shows up, but it's still dark enough that I can have a long exposure. And what I mean by this is if there's too much light, the image will be overexposed. Behind the scenes video of one of the photo shoots and the resulting photo from that night. You can see that my partner Emily is paddling at a normal rate. She doesn't have to paddle slow or fast or anything for the photo to work. I'm usually the one on shore behind the camera, but I do paddle occasionally. Again, these photos are taken just after sunset, so it's starting to get dark. So the only things that are going to show up are either stationary, like the rocks and trees. So the stationary, so I'm trying to show with these icons here, what's going to show up. So the stationary objects, they're emitting a small amount of light, so I have a small light bulb there, but they're in the same spot for the whole